Are live. I hope I don't get an echo. I'm waiting for it. Why do you have that face?
For fun. Hey, look, somebody's live.
So, hi everyone. Welcome to the R&R Show at the Raven Wolf channel.
I'm an R.
Um, so I guess no echo. I got this thing right today.
Wow, professional. I'm impressed.
Finally. Um, what was I gonna say? So yeah, welcome everybody. We're gonna have a cool show tonight. Here, let me see. You don't have the chat open, right? That's fine.
No, I don't.
I need to refresh my screen here for a minute.
Refresh it all. Let's be fresh when we start out.
So how was your week?
My week was pretty good, but then again, you just saw me yesterday.
I know.
What I told you.
Well,
the nanny
that did not watch your show.
Oh, that's a sin. No, I'm just joking. But no, my week was pretty good, all in all. Not like yours with the doggies and the operations and all of that good noise.
No, it was my mom, yeah. Like I told you yesterday on your show.
So it's all good news, right?
Huh?
It went well, so actually it's all good news.
Yes.
In the end.
Yep. Like I was saying yesterday on your channel that my week started rough since Sunday, and then on Tuesday my dog wakes me up at 5 a.m, throwing up blood and having diarrhea with blood.
Ooh, I hate that diarrhea.
And she's been so healthy. She's 2 years old, I think. Yeah, she's 2 years old, and it's the first time she's ever gotten sick. So it was, I never seen her like that before.
Oops.
And then crazy synchronicity. So my dog had to stay at the vet's overnight because she was dehydrated and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with her. The x-rays were negative, thank God, because
were these Vietnam vets or Gulf War vets?
Shush. And it was $500. The bill from the vet was $555.55.
Well, that's a lot of fives.
Yeah.
Five it up, man. Does that mean something special to you?
Well, no, but Alex was saying, and he sent me some information about the 555s. It's new beginnings or something big, change and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, High Pyramid 7. But anyways, and also my mom had surgery, and like I talked about before, how, you know, the blood. You have to pay with blood to get surgeries in Mexico at the, through the government.
Vampires.
So yeah, that was crazy. But anyways, I'm glad it is the weekend, and yeah.
All these smoke trails around here.
So anyways, so we have, as always, the 420 news.
Yeah, I like that news channel.
But before we go ahead and start with the news, the theme that we're gonna be talking about after the news is oh shoot, hold on, I did something. After the news, we're gonna be
Mayans and Aztecs.
Yes, we're gonna be talking about the Aztec fifth sun, right?
Yeah.
So the fifth sun.
Let me clarify. The reason I always lump Mayans and Aztecs together is because I know that the Aztecs borrowed a bunch when they moved into the Mayan territory. So a lot of their stuff is actually Mayan, with the twist.
And another reason why I want to talk about this with you, Ransom, is because you know a lot about the Egyptian and the Sumerian tablets and stuff, and I don't. So I like to get your perspective from that area, because we talked about this before, and you mentioned that it's very similar, just a little bit with different tweaks, but
Yeah,
it's
there's
the same
a
kind
lot
of
of
story, right?
yeah, and I saw a whole new pattern reading about this fifth sun thing.
Yeah. So I always love talking to you about topics like this. So, but anyways, let's get started with the news.
Yeah, I thought I'd let you talk for a minute. I got some business to take care of here just for
Oh,
one.
already. Hi Anya. Hi Slanted Steve.
Perfect opportunity to talk with the chat room.
Yes. So how was everybody's week over there? Hi Supernatural. Hi Buzz. Thanks for showing up. Yeah, a lot of people don't know, but actually the Mayans were first, and I get this question a lot. If the Mayans, who were first, the Mayans or the Aztecs?
Say what? Sorry. Go ahead.
420 all the way over there. I see. I like the
Allegedly.
No, the I'm talking about the screen in the back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, of course. But no, the Mayans were first, and then the Aztecs, and like you were saying, a lot of the
before them were the Olmecs, maybe.
And the Zapotecs, which tomorrow I'm gonna upload a video. You guys want to check it out about the Mayan bat, which it started with the Zapotec. Zapotec, is that how you say it in English?
I don't know.
The Zapotec culture that was at the same time as the Olmec.
A lot of those names you don't say in English, you say it the way they were.
Zapotec. That's the name in Spanish.
Zapotec. Not sapo like the froggy, right? Something else.
But they were at the same time as the Olmec, so
allegedly. Well, yeah. The reason I say that is because they kind of just throw some shit together. When you figure out where they came up with the Olmec, they're just like, oh well, because they were calling it Mayan and they were calling it Aztec, and then they realized, wait a minute, there's some civilization that's way older than both of those. And the weird thing is maybe even one way before them, because there's some artifacts throughout Mexico, like obsidian vases, bowls, and different things that look like they were built with high technology. Like they had a big piece about it. And think about it, how hard it would be to work with volcanic glass. And you know how it breaks off in shards and stuff? It's glass. Yeah. But somehow they made these impressive, super polished bowls and vases. And to this, like the Aztec took, when they found these things and they made them ceremonial items. I mean, they realized the significance that this is impressive. Somebody made some cool shit here, and they just took it right in.
Yeah, I was just showing my obsidian arrowhead.
Yes, obsidian.
Go ahead with the news, Ransom.
All right, fine. If you're gonna make me. And I'll get through it really fast so we can get into these.
Okay.
It's something that is if I don't have a sneeze festival right now.
Oh yeah, because you sneeze in threes, right? Or something like that.
3s and 5s, maybe. Can you guys see the screen there? Okay.
Yes.
Look, the first private lunar spacecraft shoots for the moon. You think they'll put a high definition camera on there and let us look at space and let us look at the moon? I don't think they will. I think it'll be just like the Americans and the Russians and the Chinese, where they just really don't show you much of nothing. And that's all I wanted to point out. And the only point I wanted to make, because look at these, it doesn't even make sense. Some of the stuff. And like they say it's because of the, exposure why you can't see stars. And it's very funny that back then, the people that said they walked on the moon tried to say that the space was black and they couldn't see anything. And, most people know that doesn't make any sense. There's no atmosphere. Therefore, you could see everything in space. Anybody knows that if you go to a clear place.
Oh, wow. I'm just getting a really high pitch on my ear.
Was it my voice?
I don't know. It sounded like it came from your mic, but I don't know. It might be something
else. Was it in my mic? I don't know.
You guys heard that high pitch, or was it just me?
I don't know. I get static.
Anyways, whatever.
But anyway, sorry. Yeah, they always give a shitty picture. Doesn't make any sense. And a lot of stuff. But anyway, maybe these private people will, hook us up. And, that stuff in China. And I said it wouldn't be long before it'd be over here in the United States. And it'll be the thing where babies are no longer just made in the old fashioned, hook up and spend the night, one night stand with full of hot sex and romance. And then 9 months later, you got a bambino. That's a thing of the past. Children are going to be planned. They're going to be edited to, fit the needs of whoever's designing them. Imagine all of you remember those shows like X-Men and all that about the mutant gene? Well, they're not willing to wait for that to happen. So they're going to start making it happen. But here it is right here, headlines. New U.S. experiments to aim to create gene-edited human embryos.
That's so sad. I hate, it's so weird. Like our society is so crazy right now. You can kill your baby, full month developed baby. Like,
yeah, your regular baby, let's get rid of that one, but we'll make some.
Yeah. It's just crazy times for sure.
I want to know how long it is until all of a sudden some company says, you know what? Well, there's like 300,000, 20-year-olds now with our patented CRISPR gene. They're all our property. We own the patent on their health. Like they already tried to do that once with just regular DNA. Wait till they can argue in Congress that they created it in a lab and it belongs to them and it's their intellectual property. What are you going to do then when your DNA belongs to someone else? And then Egypt just opened up a bunch of mummies. And I just wanted to point out, look at the crappy boxes, the little tiny crappy boxes. They put these guys in there, right? And, there's writing. Nothing like the Great Pyramids or those giant stone boxes or the Osirian behind the pyramid. Nothing close to it. So there again, it kind of goes to what we're about to talk about in a little while, is that there's been several ages of people. And it seems like
that's right,
going down in technology, not back up. But with us crisping genes and creating things, the Anunnaki story and the Mayan stories and the Aztec stories of creation don't really seem that weird when you know that we ourselves could mix animals and humans together and make a whole race of a certain kind of people. So why wouldn't
generically create a baby?
Past do it anyway. I was just pointing out the crappy.
I said generically make a baby, but I meant like in a lab.
Yeah, engineer it, right?
Yeah.
And then the army, they just really need soldiers, so they're they got new recruitment videos out. I won't bore you with it, but yeah, it's a rap video. Rap to do it, man. About how you need to join the empire and go, conquer stuff. And then a man died in Mexico, flown home without a brain, stomach, or a heart. Not unlike one of those, ceremonies of the past where they cut parts out. But in this case, they're saying it's illegal organ transplanting. But yeah, they took the dude's brain out. I think, nobody goes downtown and donates their brain to science unless they're going to be dead. You know what I mean? So that's not an organ that we normally donate, right? Or the stomach or the heart. These are all pretty vital to being alive. What do you think about that, Anna? Somebody literally cut out some people's stuff and then they just flew their body home to their native country of South Korea with no parts.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, right?
I'm sure they sold the parts, of course.
Well, but the irony is that this just happened from somebody in Mexico, but that China does this on a large scale. They have prisons where people are, waiting to get hacked up as forced organ donors because they've already been sentenced to death and therefore they're just property. Hey, look.
Oh, I want to say something about that. 22.
11 and 22. Yeah. So what is it, man?
Oh, no, and I'm about to get a new driver's license. Yeah. And on the one I have now, it says that I'm a donor.
Ooh.
And I think you told me before that.
Well, there are some horror stories. You can look at that two ways. You can be naive and very positive and think, if something happens to me, I'd like to give my organs away to somebody so that their life could continue. right? And on the other hand, they're snuffing people out in ERs because they want to make money off of the organs that they're going to get. So, hey, I don't know.
And I can only imagine if people like with certain kind of specific kind of blood types that are really rare.
Yeah.
And this person have it, it's like, well, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I want to remove that part out in this new one.
Might be screwed if you're like B positive or O negative, being only that they're both 7%.
I'm B positive.
Oh, that's weird. I'm O negative.
You're funny. All right, continue with your news.
All righty. Let's get into beef thieving. They act like they don't know why this guy could have possibly come in this restaurant and stole the beef. But as you can see, he came right in and stole the beef. He ate half of his meal first, of course, though. But check it out. He used the breadbasket napkin to get that T-bone in there and go home. And these people act like they don't just understand. Oh, my God, I can't believe it. He came in here and stole the steak. It was so uncivilized. But, yeah, he was just hungry, man. Just because he was well-dressed doesn't mean he wasn't broke or hard down on his luck. He probably put his best suit on so he wouldn't be suspicious. Right? If he would have came in there in his normal dirty clothes, you know, they would have been like, hey, watch that guy. But actually, they said that they did say that. Hey, watch this guy. He's shifty. He keeps looking everywhere.
I guess he was sending off those kind of vibes.
Yeah, look at him. He's eating. He eats the sides, and he's like, yep, it's time to go. And he gets his beef, and he runs, man. Beef thief. I don't know. I just thought that was funny. Anyway, so California's about to most likely have a bunch of more disaster. You know, stuff like floods and mudslides. And it was strange how when California was burning to the ground, there was this weird wall of moisture all up and down the west coast there. But out in the ocean where the rain wouldn't come in and rain on the fires. But now, hey, it's like somebody just stopped the wall and now all the rain's going to be, you know, flooding everything. Stuff will be washing away. If you haven't seen it, look at that. It's just pummeling it. And it's weird because when you were watching the fire, there was this weird empty zone right here all the way along down the coast where nothing was happening. And there was all this rain sitting out in the Pacific Ocean right next to the continent, but it wouldn't come over and fire, you know, on the fire. But now they're just going to rain and have mudslides. And maybe the next earthquake will slide the whole fucking thing right out in the ocean.
Wow.
Speaking of, you know, weird stuff here.
We're California.
Whenever that happens, you might have to eat bugs, you know, because there's no food. But there will be a protein source out there. And I thought I would tell you guys, it's good news. I've joked about it before, having to eat bugs, but you might have to. And they are an excellent source of protein and vitamins. They are disgusting, true. But, you know, if you can muscle down the grossness of it, also they have superbiotics inside of them. And they have powerful antibiotics. So if you're sick, right, you get sick and you might want to eat a bunch of bugs.
In Mexico, they sell chapulines, which are grasshoppers.
Yeah.
They fry them and they put spices on it, and you can eat them like with tacos.
Like potato chips.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. They also have chocolate covered, you know, grasshoppers and stuff like that people eat around the world. But this is more like you're sick. You need to go. Somebody needs to go catch a pound of grasshoppers or some shit, you know, some kind of bug so you can eat it just to get the antibiotic benefit of the bug because they don't seem to have
Supernatural said bugs aren't terrible, at least when cooked. So does it taste like chicken?
I don't think they do.
Oh, God. Because, like, gator, I love gator. I'm sorry, I love gator.
It's pretty good. I've had it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's expensive, but it's pretty good.
And it's hard to feel sorry for to eat something that could eat you. That's another thing. I don't even feel bad when I'm eating it. This thing could eat me, you know. It's kind of dumb and it's prehistoric, and I don't want to eat all of them where they go extinct. But yeah, if you don't have deer to eat, you might wrestle a crocodile.
But it does taste like chicken, kind of.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I had some gator bites. They weren't bad.
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to hunt an alligator, though. I'm just saying.
No.
But if I had to, I guess, you know. I've seen people eating iguanas like it's no thing. They just chase them down and kill them and skin them and eat them on the grill. Just have some badass barbecue. Hey, I'm not hating.
Anya said that she only eaten a fly and a worm as a kid.
I think we all did that probably
Oh,
once.
I don't think I did.
Oh, sure. Don't try to be uppity now. I'm just kidding. But hey, did you guys trip? You know, like we've been having Antarctic temperatures literally down here. Now, that doesn't really seem that bizarre. We're going into a solar minimum. But what's trippy is a lot of people don't remember that the magnetic pole is racing across the planet to over here. So it may be soon within your lifetime that you have a totally different um, atmosphere, or I mean weather where you live. Like down here in New Mexico, we barely miss it every time. It's like we live in a place that hasn't changed much for millions of years. But for other people, there used to be all kinds of forest and stuff, and it may refreeze. We may see glaciers come back to North America, or look, Africa might start actually getting moisture from the way that this polar vortex looks. It might push moisture back down into here to places that's never had rain in the last 5,000 years. Wouldn't that be weird if stuff starts growing in the Sahara and then all kinds of weird stuff? So yeah, they keep talking about climate change. We call it weather, and it's known to change. But if this whole planet tilts just a little bit, talk about some climate change. You'll be having some trippy ass weather. Maybe it's the end of another cycle.
Alexander Bachman was saying that there was the temperatures somewhere in North America, it was as cold or colder
than Antarctica.
Colder than the temperatures in Mars or something.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it gets actually a lot of people think Mars is frozen and stuff, but they have 70-degree days on Mars sometimes. You know, like they have springtime weather there in several areas on Mars all the time. It's weird. It's just like, a temperate zone where now they also say they have water there. So it's weird. Water, 70-degree days, sunshine, atmosphere. I don't know. Is it really dead on Mars? That's a good question.
So I wanted to ask you that.
I don't know. I actually think there's probably, little life, like stuff in the dirt and maybe stuff in the water. They probably have microbes and maybe even little critters living under the surface. Who knows? But the Japanese are all getting freaked out because this fish and their tradition sparks earthquake fears. There's a superstition that, when you see these type of sea monsters, as they call them, or these big serpent fish, that they're expecting a big earthquake. And they might be because, earthquakes, like we were talking about a minute ago, are happening everywhere. Mexico, Central America, especially volcanoes, earthquakes. A bunch of people just died in this recent one that people say they felt away all the way in El Salvador and Mexico City. So, and it's kind of weird that in this stuff we're talking about, they talk about the end of this cycle, and after Anna gets to it, I'll talk about it. Not all of the Aztec cycles lasted the whole numeric time. Some of them ended short because of cataclysms where they just started a new age there.
That's right.
So
was that on your news?
We may not live in a big, long age this time. Our age may be real short.
Yeah, one of the shorter cycles.
Yeah, plus we're getting replaced when gene edited people anyway, so.
Are you done with your news? Was that the end?
Oh yeah, that was the end. That's all she wrote.
Can you hear my dog having a dream?
Yeah. He's just visiting Chibalba.
You're funny. All right, so now we're gonna be talking about the fifth sun. So I'm gonna read over a little bit of stuff. Do you wanna? You were gonna show something, no?
I'll get to it when you get there.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and read so you guys. What was that? That's weird. It sounded like somebody just came in the. All right, whatever. I don't know what happened there. But so I'm gonna read about the Aztec fifth sun thing. All right, so there are some similarities between the Aztec creation myth of the five sons and the ancient Greek myths that describe how each human race created by gods was less advanced than the previous one. Previous ancient races were doomed to be destroyed. Like many other civilizations, or ancient civilizations, the Aztecs saw time as a cyclical process, and they were convinced that the world we live in will eventually be destroyed just like the previous worlds were. Additionally, they believed that the five suns were also the five birds of the world, and they were the key of the rebirth of the world. The directions were very important to the Aztecs and so in the Mayans. Duh. The great empire was believed to be located in the center of the universe of the Axis Mundi. And Ransom, can you explain what the Axis Mundi is? Are you here? Or not? Okay, never mind. The Axis Mundi is the navel of the planet. So the Aztec creation myth, which describes how the worlds originated, is called the legend of the fifth sons. Several different versions of this myth exist because the stories were originally passed down by oral tradition.
Oh, oral. Everybody loves oral.
So do you hear what I was asking you a minute ago about the
No, actually, I had a catastrophe I had to attend to. That's why I left. I'm sorry.
Oh.
The good thing I read over this material. So what was the question?
If you could explain what was the Axis Mundi.
The hoo-ha?
The Axis Mundi.
Oh, you explain it. This is your show.
I already explained it, so never mind.
Oh, good. I knew that you would save the day.
Okay, I'm gonna
now let's get back to this oral. I was starting to get into this. All right, I'll be quiet.
Oral tradition, and also because the Aztecs adopted and modified gods and myths from other tribes that they met and conquered. According to the Aztec creation myth, the world of the Aztecs at the time of the Spanish colonization was the fifth era of a cycle of creation and destruction. They believed their world had been created and destroyed 4 times before. During each of the 4 previous cycles, different gods first governed the earth through a dominant element and then destroy it. These gods were called the suns. During the 16th century and the period in which we still live today, the Aztecs believed that we were living in the 5th sun, and it would also end in violence at the end of the calendrical cycle.
Yeah, always in violence. Hey, did you notice, and this is the part I got a little confused on, could you go back a couple sentences right there? Wow, I keep getting static from your side, but whatever. Like, I think a ghost did enter a minute ago, and you said you heard that sound because I was getting static noise when you said that.
Oh my gosh, that's weird.
I was wondering, was that on my broadcast last night? I forgot to look because I know it did it right at the end of the show, and I was wondering if that was going to be on it. But anyway, back to what you were saying. It says a dominant element, and I was confused because it says it in a way, it doesn't say that they were the dominant element, but it says the gods with a dominant element. Isn't that what it says? Maybe I got confused. That's why I wanted to clarify that, because if they're, what are they talking about? Are they talking about gold? Are they talking about some kind of element, like a real element? That they
dominant element. Yeah.
Yeah, well, what are they talking about? Like the Anunnaki and their May that they made stuff with, like they combined all the peoples and the animal DNA with? Or is it like, you know, some kind of, I don't know. It kind of sounds like science where everything's made from hydrogen first. You know, like every element out there is a combination of more and more hydrogen elements that makes a new thing.
Yeah.
I was just wondering about that.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting point. But anyways, so in the beginning, according to Aztec mythology, the creator couple, a female and a male, who was both female and a male, gave birth to 4 sons
Yeah,
which
wait,
are
wait, 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 wait. It wasn't two of them. It was one that was both androgynous, hermaphrodite.
the creator couple. It was a couple.
Yeah, but they were both male and female. That means it was the
Yes.
one thing. They were together. Like you know how they talk about, and there's a ancient Trojan story about how that whenever we were made by the gods, that we had two heads, right? And then we were separated, and that's why everybody's
Yeah.
always looking for their other half or their twin
Right.
flame, blah blah blah. But it's just weird that they're not the only one. If you go back in some other ancient societies, even like Baphomet symbolizes the origins of things, both male and female
Equality.
together. The balance, the yin, the yang. It's just weird that philosophy turns up even in the ancient
The Maya. I mean Aztec.
Aztec. Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry for interrupting. Go ahead.
It gave birth to four sons, which is the east, the north, the south, and the west. After 600 years, the sons began to create the universe, including the creation of cosmic time, called suns. These gods eventually created the world and all of the other deities. After the world was created, the gods gave light to humans. But to do this, one of the gods had to sacrifice himself by leaping into a fire. Each subsequent son was created by the personal sacrifice or of at least one of the gods. And a key element of the story, like that of all Aztec culture, is that sacrifice is required to begin renewal.
Always. Hey, and I don't want to skip forward too much, but I have a conspiracy theory.
We can't see you.
Oh, I know that because you're mainstream because you're reading it. I just wanted to interject one little thing again. Okay, here in a minute, they're talking about, who wants to who gets to sacrifice themselves in order to make a new sun, right?
Right.
New era. Because the times and the things are called suns. It's weird that they use the same term for different things, but
right.
They talk about like they're the powerful ones, but then a pimply, scabby one ends up jumping in, like one that wasn't as powerful as the rest of them. But the one that was powerful didn't want to sacrifice himself.
Right.
He didn't want to. It was like real selfish. So it's weird. I wonder, did the pimply, scabby one volunteer really, or is that just how we retold the story, or did he get picked? Like, you know what? Nobody likes you. You're all pimply and scabby, and you're not really that powerful.
You're kind of jumping ahead of the story here.
I know. Okay, I'll shut up, and we'll get back to that.
Yes.
Pimples.
All right. So the 4 cycles. So the first god to sacrifice himself was Tezcatlipoca, who leaped into the fire and started the first sun, called 4 Tiger. This period was inhabited by giants who ate only acorns, and it came to an end when the giants were devoured by jaguars. The world lasted 676 years, or 13 52-year cycles, according to the Pan-Mesoamerican calendar. Do you have anything to say about that?
Well, I was going to wait till the end about some key facts in these little stories.
Well, I can go by, the first one and then comment and then the second one,
Well, the reason I was going to wait till the end is because the whole thing to me sounds like 2 different things.
Okay. All right. So the second sun was called the wind sun, and it was governed by Quetzalcoatl. And the earth was populated by humans who ate only piñon nuts. Am I saying it right? Piñon nuts?
Correct. There's a piñon tree and it has these little weird nuts on it with these shells, and they're kind of delicious, but they piss you off because they're so small and it's so much work to get them. Anyway, yeah, that's neither here nor there, but piñon nuts happen to grow around here, yes. Right.
Quetzalcoatl wanted to be sun and turn himself into a tiger, and Tezcatlipoca wanted to be the sun and turn himself into a tiger and threw Quetzalcoatl off his throne. This world came to an end through catastrophic hurricanes and floods. The few survivors fled to the top of these trees and were transformed into monkeys. This world also lasted 676 years. The third son was, and I just looked at the comment, and Anya said that it sounds similar to the creation, the Norse creation of the world.
Yeah. Sounds like they all had the basis. It seems like no matter where you go, they all have. There was a main story at the beginning, and that kind of got passed around, and not by literature, so it wouldn't change, but people told people that told people that told people that told people.
Yeah.
And it's like that little game. Remember when you were a kid and you would whisper into the other kid's ear, and by the time it got to the end of the circle, it wasn't even close to what you said.
Right. The original. Right.
Yeah. But similar.
Okay, so the third son was called the rain son and was dominated by the water. Its ruling deity was the rain god Tlaloc, and its people ate seeds that grew in the water. This world came to an end when the god Quetzalcoatl made it rain fire and ashes. The survivors became turkeys, butterflies, or dogs. Turkeys are called pipil pipil in the Aztec language, meaning child or prince. This world ended in 7 cycles, or 364 years. So it was shorter than the other cycles. The third cycle, the third son.
Yeah, that one's trippy. Why did that one end so fast?
Then the fourth son was again the water son, and it was governed by the goddess called Chalchihuitlicue, sister and wife of Tlaloc. The people ate maize. A great flood marked the end of this world, and all the people were transformed into fish. The fourth water sun lasted 676 years. So that was the previous 4 suns, and now the sun that we are on now is called the 5th sun, and it's creating the the 5th sun. So at the end of the 4th sun, the gods gathered at Teotihuacan, which is where the Mexico City pyramids are, to decide what had to sacrifice him or herself for the new world to begin. This is what you were talking about in the beginning.
Yeah.
The god with Teotl, the old fire god, started a sacrificial bonfire, but none of the most important gods wanted to jump into the flames. The rich and proud god Tezcatl, lord of the snail, hesitate, and during that hesitation, the humble and poor Nanahuatzin, the simply or scabby one, leaped into the flames and became the new sun. The Tezcatli jumped in after him and became a second son. So there were 2 sons now. Mm-hmm. The gods realized that 2 sons would overwhelm the world. So they threw a rabbit at the Tezcatl, and it became the moon. That is why you can still see the rabbit in the moon today. Yeah. The 2 celestial bodies were set in motion by Ejecatl, the god of the wind, who fiercely and violently blew the sun into motion. So that's what you were saying about the...
Yeah, there's so much stuff in this, though, that you could, just talk about different subjects forever. Like that whole little part about the super wind that blew the sun to existence, like whenever you listen to star formation, basically what they're saying is that ever since the Big Bang, there's been a force blowing out stuff, and then suns were created, and then they go supernova and they throw out a big wind again, and that pushes nebulas together that start turning into more suns. So it's like just the science is in there in an oral story. Like at one time they knew something, but it got turned more into like down home earth things. Like we're talking about gods, but yet they have to gather wood for fires, and they burn somebody in a fire, like in space, or like did they actually get some trees and burn somebody? You know what I mean?
Right. Do you want to show? Huh? You want to show the clip, or you want me to show the clip where?
Yeah, that's cool. I was gonna say though, this whole thing sounds to me more like the Aztec, or not just the Aztec, but maybe like a whole group of different tribes of people that first come over. They talk about when we talk about how it was populated in North and South America, they do have the Bering Strait story, and we do know that genetic markers moved through there and came down all the way into South America from what we call China. Now, when you listen to that whole story, there's one odd thing about the story is that there are no tigers in North or South America. Tigers don't live over here. They only live in Asia. So at the beginning of the story, when they're traveling, like it's like a story through time. And then later they're in an area where they're eating pino nuts. That would be over here in North America. And then they start talking about turkeys, and turkeys only live in North America. So it's like a transition from one place to another place. And we know that the Aztecs were told by their god to move to another place, and they told them what it would look like when they got there and all of that stuff. Yeah. So it's bizarre. And then on top of that, it seems like, like the guy that got sacrificed, he probably was a native, and they admit that this story has elements of a lot of different tribes and cultures throughout North and South Central America. They kind of bunched it together. It's kind of weird that the last people that had control of the area kind of did like a Bible thing where they smushed everything together and tried to force it on everybody as one story. And then right after them, we get the Spanish, and then they did it again. Of course, they had to be on top of that one.
Of course. And the Hopi prophecy, it's, a little bit about it, right?
Yeah, they believe there was 4 worlds too, and we're in the 4th world, and it's near ending. And other Native American stuff, they talk about the 4 types of people: the red people, the white people, the black people, and the yellow people, and that they separated and they went to the 4 corners of the earth, and they know that the end times will be when all 4 types of men move back to the area. And considering that area happens to be North America, their prophecies, it's fulfilling. I mean, everybody lives over here. You can look at any of the cities like Phoenix or Albuquerque or any of that. They have a little bit of everybody from everywhere in them. So
earlier in Rex's show, when he had Derek, he said something how people thought that the end of the world was going to happen with the Mayan, and it kind of happened, but not in the sense that people expected. Like it
didn't just go like that. It started a new age. Even right. I was even saying that in the bottom, in the chat room, like it's not just them, it's all cultures are talking about the same thing. And around the same time, they leave you little clues. And that's why I don't discount the Bible too much, because like I was saying in there, it's a piece of the story. It's not, all of it, but even in ancient, like Buddha would say that you can't have a whole without a piece, with a piece missing. You have to have the whole thing, and the Bible is a piece of that. But there's a common theme in all of these stories.
That's what I was going to say. I think that's how you can start putting the pieces together. I hear a little like echo when I speak.
Did you know? I don't hear it. But look at all the ones, like even the Indus Valley, they said about this time that would be the end of things. You got the Mayans ended their thing because it was a new thing, and then you got the Hopi and the other Navajo. But on top of that, you had Jesus talking about beware of the water bearer, and we're entering the Aquarius age. They all talked about it.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, so just all those pieces that are in all these different scriptures, the Bible, all of this around the world, the things that are very similar. I think those are the things to take out. Well, those
were obviously the important points when people conveyed this message over time. Like even there's a weird part in there where they talk about how everybody kind of turned into monkeys all the way, even though they were part monkey and part human. That sounds just like the Anunnaki story about mixing themselves with hominids. And they even have a part in their history where they left and they came back in about 1,000 years. And when they came back, they said that the men had reverted back to the beast. Monkeys. So basically they were saying they went back into the hominid state and they were living wild. You know what I mean? Instead of how they left them. And then again, they added a little bit more and things changed and we went back to civilization while they were here. But then on that other story, it was like, you know, these catastrophes keep happening with these different types of people. It's just weird.
And the giants, the first creation were giants.
Oh, and then I thought about that too. I'm glad you reminded me. That's another key, that they were in Asia a long time ago, in Asia in prehistoric times, but at the same time as modern man. When modern man lived in Asia and they were moving through it, there was a thing called an Australopithecus, which was a giant orangutan that stood about 16 to 18 foot tall. Whenever you've seen the movie The Jungle Book, yeah. King George is an Australopithecus or what? I don't know. I might be even saying the name wrong. Don't quote me because I'm bad with names. Anyway, to the effect, it was a giant orangutan that kind of walked upright like a man, but it was giant. And it ate things like acorns and bamboo and stuff. It was a vegetarian, but that thing went extinct, but it lived in the same area as tigers. And even in the Jungle Book, there's main characters in there. There's the serpent, right? The lying giant snake. There's King Louis, that's a giant orangutan, and then there's the bad tiger, right? And the black cat. It's not called a jaguar, it's a panther. But that's weird because for people from Asia that could see black panthers in the jungle, which a lot of leopards look black, and for some reason in Southeast Asia, a lot of them look more black, and in the dark they even look that way. And then they come over here and then they meet the jaguar, and then that whole time about the jaguars, they ate the giants, right?
Yeah.
They ate the giants. And if you know, tigers and orangutans are kind of like nature's enemy. Tigers eat orangutans.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. Let me finish reading. I have just a little bit left. More about the fifth sun. So the fifth sun is the sun that we're living now, and it's called the movement. And it's ruled by Tonatiuh, the sun god. The fifth sun is characterized by the sign it sounds like Odin, but it's Ojin, Ollin, Ojin, which means movement. So Aztecs believe is indicated that this world will come to an end through earthquakes, and all the people will be eaten by sky monsters. But this is not the end of our existence, because new worlds will be created. Just like the Maya awaits for the return of their beard god Kukulkan, who to the Aztec was known as Quetzalcoatl. The Hopi still awaits to the return of Pahana. Am I saying it right? Pahana?
No, but it is odd that they're waiting on a bearded dude, considering none of them had facial hair.
You're funny.
And the little statues from North to South America show people with beards as their gods, which is weird because we talk about it sounds like these are descendants of man that were around when the Anunnaki and stuff, the original gods were around, or what they thought were gods. And they did have beards, and people did have beards there.
That's crazy.
And there's a whole story about one group of people that don't have beards in that. It's kind of weird. Yes. And they built pyramids.
But so check this out. So it says that according to the Aztec belief, this fifth sun, the movement sun, the one we live now, it says to be destroyed through earthquakes.
Yeah, what are we talking about in the news? Earthquakes, and it's in that area that the people lived that made this story.
Yeah.
Shit, the volcanoes are going nuts, the earthquakes are going nuts, and an abnormal amount of giant storms off the ocean we call hurricanes that I would consider a fucking sky monster. If you're sitting on the jungle and it's sunny, and then all of a sudden you're looking down the coast and you see this big ass fucking thing coming out of the ocean with lightning and wind. That's a monster.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about what do you think was the sky monsters?
Or you could go on another trip and it could be airplanes and military vehicles that, kill shit. No telling what people that we're seeing into the future could describe in their time any more than they could describe perfectly ancient history that they were trying to tell.
That's right. All right, so the Aztecs consider themselves the people of the sun, and therefore their duty was to nourish the sun god through blood offerings and sacrifices.
A liter of blood when you come, please.
Failure to do this would cause the end of the world and the disappearance of the sun from the sky. It is interesting to note that Aztec legends, multiple gods again play a prominent role in creation, and quarrels between gods determine the curse of humanity, in which the same way in the Egyptian text, Sumerian text, and Greek mythology, and all the major religions. And that's all.
Yeah, they're all saying the same thing, huh?
So in the Sumerian tablet or Sumerian whatever, does it says that multiple gods had differences and determined the future of humanity?
Yeah, they had Enlil.
The curse of humanity.
They had several of them. I mean, like, it depends on which set of them you're talking about at what time. And the Egyptians had Osiris and Hathor and Anubis, and I mean, the list goes on and on. It's just, what did they call them in that area where they lived? And it's weird that the depictions in stone all over the world have similar themes too. Yeah. And it's weird that there's always a mention of some kind of giant in people's past. And there's always a mention of some kind of giant flood that reset everything. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter which culture you look at, they all have those same things in them.
And it's interesting too, because you've been saying for a while that it's time for a reset.
Yeah, we're watching it in front of our eyes. It's just people they're not getting it. They're too busy living in the convenience of a modern age, I guess I would say, where they just don't care. As long as their belly's full and they got a little bit of stuff in the fridge and the electricity's on, they're just not going to care what's going on outside or what's happening in the world.
And I do want to mention this, that we're not saying this to fear porn or anything, but this is just our opinion and what we see that is happening. And, we're not trying to scare you guys or anything like that, but I'm sure there's people out there that...
You can acknowledge that the world's going that way, but that doesn't mean that that's your path, that you have to go down the way with it.
That's right.
You know that it's happening, prepare yourself for it, and don't involve yourself in some of the stuff. Which we're all guilty, though. I watch TV sometimes. I like music, and then when I sit there, it makes me think about it, though. When I'm older, I'm more aware about stuff. So, like when I was a kid, I would throw some Too Short on and bump it down the street, and even know the lyrics, I could probably rap, with every word. And I never really thought much of it. I actually thought it was cool. But then later, now I'm realizing that why was I listening to some guy repeating lyrics about sex trafficking and slavery and shit? You know what I mean? It's a whole different thing. Everything looks different to me now. And it's funny, we talk about the Hopi. They have a famous saying in the Hopi language. I mean, I don't know how to say it the way they do. And they, too, are oral tradition people where no one wrote anything down other than some pictures, maybe. But they say that, you cannot awake someone who pretends to be asleep. You can't wake them up because it kind of means that they know what's going on and they're ignoring it.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's today. But they are replacing us, gene-edited people.
And AI.
And AI. Well, you can watch it through the news. I'm watching it increase in time. Like, things I'm saying next, they'll be doing this. Then I see it. It's like, it used to be like 5 years from now, then I would see it. And then it was a couple years, and then now it's a week. I'll say something, and I'll see it in a week, which means it's already happening. Which makes me wonder, am I getting it downloaded before they tell the headlines to say it?
You've done that in several things. You mentioned things, and next thing you bring that same the news.
Well, I think that me and Jordan Maxwell were talking about it. They have built a whole thing here on Earth there was already a program and a frequency coming to you from out in the universe, whether you want to admit it or not. It was happening. You're kind of programmed by it in a way. But I'm not saying that means you don't have free will or you do have free will. I believe we do to an extent.
Yeah, because you don't believe 100% in free will,
either
right?
way. Huh?
You don't believe in free will?
I do believe in free will.
No, not you. I'm saying.
No, Maxwell thinks that there is a program and we're just following it out.
And that's why there's no free will, according to him.
Yeah, because people have hijacked the program and they know about the program, so they can manipulate it because they know about it. Well, meanwhile, everybody else is just kind of simpletons to it and they just go along their program. But I think we have a free will to an extent, even though there's so it's people always say that fight the programming. You have a spirit inside this program, but it seems like that the rulers of this world aren't satisfied with regular religious propaganda and stuff. So they built an entire grid of technology around the entire earth to beam back down microwave with data on it. And they're admitting that they can read your thoughts, they can make pictures out of your thoughts. They're admitting that they can beam information directly into your head using Wi-Fi technology. So this is a frequency, and they're blocking us off. They're making a whole little grid around the earth, blocking you off from the universe's program frequency that you would be picking up naturally. So I don't know. They obviously don't want us to leave the planet either. They would rather kill us off here and just reset and start over. And who knows what lie they'll tell the next generation of people about why they're there and how they came to be.
Right.
I mean, think about them. They're going to be uncovering artifacts from our time, right? In 1,000 years. And they're going to say, hey, look at these people. They knew something, and then they'll spread it around and they'll wonder, like, how come they have 3 eyes or whatever it is, because something went wrong with gene editing, but they'll have a religious reason why they're like that. Oh, well, the God was a cyclops and he made us with 1 eye, and I don't know. And then they'll find this old shit, and then there'll be little rebels like there are now trying to tell you they're resetting the information. They're about to turn the whole internet in the past decade has been free exchange of ideas. The best thing probably that's ever happened to humans. And now they're twisting it to where you only get the program they want you to have. Remember that news article about the fake news? They're putting fake news up, but then they say that they're filtering fake news out for you, but they're putting up known hoaxes as real articles.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Listen to our program, not yours. Now, how would a Mayan or an Aztec describe that future if he saw it in a vision or was told it? He'd say, I don't know, but they're having a lot of earthquakes. There was some shit in the sky. Shit was fucked up.
Yeah.
Bunch of
I definitely, like I said, all this information and from my videos and everything, I've never claimed to be an expert or, I know it all.
Yeah, we're just talking about.
This is research that I found and that I'm sharing with you guys. But the more I find information about Mayans and like how they stuff about the underworld and how they saw, with the tree of life, and like it actually makes a lot more sense than a lot of the religion for me.
Oh, and then that's another thing. Where did people come from in the Mayan, thing? The Aztecs say they came from a place and they just traveled there, but the Mayans saying they came out of the earth, man.
Mm-hmm.
They came out of the earth. And then you come up here to where I live in the Hopi believe, that at one time some bad things were happening in one of these old worlds. And the ant people brought them into the earth, and then they lived in there for a while, and then they went out. But the ant people didn't, come out to live with them. They stayed in the earth.
Yeah.
But they too believe they crawled back out of the earth for a new world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you go over in Europe and Turkey, and there's these massive cities they're finding underground of cave systems. In India, there's a place where there's giant Buddhas, but then it's off limits to the people, but there's giant cities under there, and there's rumors that elite do, ceremonies down in there and stuff. Because all these people, that's why all of those places are locked up. It's not that they're not being used, it's just that the common man's not allowed to use
them. I've heard that the reptilians live under.
There's rumors about that from Native American history in California, even
in Mount Shasta, right?
Like 1900s, they were digging to try to find this underground city in LA that they thought that the rumors and plus the Native American stories that there may be actually a city there, underground. And why wouldn't there be? There's all over the other places.
One strange reality, whatever it is. I agree. Supernatural.
Wouldn't it be cool to be the first person to find one of those underground cities? Like you just found a cave that recently the rocks fell into, and then you go in there and there's all this unfiltered knowledge that no, but as soon as you told another person, it would disappear for the common man, and the archaeologist would come and they'd come up with their own stories about why it's there and all of that.
Yeah. C. Golden says reptilians live in the Vatican.
They might. They sure like the reptilian there, don't they? You seen that thing behind where the Pope sits, right?
The snake?
It's a serpent Christ. It has a serpent head. The building in which they do that.
It looks like a serpent, yeah.
It has even big Vatican stained glass eyes for the damn lizard, and the damn red carpet that goes right to where the Pope is the snake's tongue inside of the head. And the people sit in its mouth. So it's literally the serpent consuming its people there.
Wow.
Good point, Golden. It does. They do trip on that.
Hi, Aurora Rain. I haven't seen you in a bit. I hope you're doing good. So since we're done with our presentations here, I thought maybe I should put one card for our people if they want.
Yeah. Do a card.
You like a card, Ransom?
I don't want that one that you fell on the floor there.
No, it didn't fall on the floor. It fell on my chair.
I want the one that falls down, but not on the floor.
Oh, whatever.
Just saying.
All right. So you want a card or no?
Sure, why not? I'm not against it.
Oh, you do, LJ? LJD says she has the same shirt as mine.
What is it? Let me see. I was noticing the two big round flowers with the circles in the middle. It keeps making me think something else there.
You're funny.
What's it say?
I don't know. Aeropostal?
Got some spell on you and you don't even know what it is?
All right, Anya, I'll get you
Mine
one.
is G.I. Joe because,
Are you a G.I. Joe?
No, I'm not government issue, but they say they're a real American hero there, man. They're the ones that used to say, knowing's half the battle.
I'm going to pull another card for you.
Pull it. Why? You didn't like that one?
No.
Why not? Oh, it's dealer's choice, I guess.
No, I just was not feeling it for you. Healer of the say of the.
All right, now we got to know what the other one is. We got to compare them.
No, Ransom, it's gone.
That is a lie. You saw it right here. That's fake card readings. I had a bad one or something. Let me have the one I had.
No, Ransom, stop it. All right, I'm gonna pull one card for Anya now.
All right, that's it. I'm unsubscribing.
You're funny. All right. G.I. Joe. A.I. Joe.
A.I. Joe. A real internet hero. I could be AI. You never know. You would have to have met me in real life to know that I'm not an AI.
Yeah.
There's been a couple of people on YouTube that have met me in real life, so they know I'm a real person.
That's right.
But you, Anna, I don't know anybody that vouches for you. Who's met you in real life? Huh? She could be an AI. Anna could be one of those sex dolls that they just got moving around on there, talking to us, trying to steer us down the wrong path of enlightenment here.
All right, Anya. Okay, this jump out. So you got blossoming abundance coming your way.
Healers of the ages, huh? I don't buy it. Blossoming abundance. How come you didn't put her card up and get another one?
Shut up, Ransom. Get over it. Hi, Johan. Yes, we are live, Johan.
Yes, we're in the right now, in the moment.
And I see an owl.
Oh, those pesky owls.
There's an owl, and I was drawn to that owl. You see it right there, Anya?
Yeah, I see it.
And also that, I feel like that's the moon. So
it's a creepy owl. It's one of those barn owls from like that Alien movie that represented the Sumerians.
Oh shit. So I don't know if the owls have any significant meaning for you, Anya, but and also the moon. So something related with the full moon coming up or coming in I don't know.
Anya works. Anya
It's more of a
works, so
moon this
she,
month.
she wants to be a night owl like us. That's what it is.
She said yes. All right. So Josie, wait.
When's Anya coming back on the show?
Anya, you want to join us? Let's see. I forgot who asked before for a card. Well, I know C Golden asked for a card, so I'm gonna pull a card for her. Yeah, and Ransom, do you wanna? How can we stream the Super Bowl halftime show and do a live stream?
Well, that'll be real difficult because what we'll have to do is we'll have to live stream it, but then we'll have to pause it a bunch of times so they don't mess with your channel.
Oh, I was gonna say that.
So we'll be a little bit delayed on it. You know what I mean? So you'll have to pause it and talk for a minute and then let it go again. But we'll get to watch it all though, and we could break it down.
I'm sure they're gonna, they take any opportunity to do any kind of ritual.
Actually, you know what? I can warp it.
Ritual in halftime.
I can warp it just a little bit and use it as a camera feed so that you won't get copyrighted and we can watch it.
So, C Golden, all tied up.
Ooh, freaky.
All tied up for you, and no, it's not in a freaky way, like Ransom says. It's more like
I'm just a positive.
Feel like maybe there's something that is stopping you and not letting you allow forward with certain project or certain thing that you want to accomplish. You feel like you're stuck.
He does a good Z Golden report. He reports on a lot of the same news that I do, and faster sometimes.
You're welcome, Anya. Let's see who else asked for a card.
See, Z Golden got my one compliment for the day. I only give one out every day, and he got it.
Johan, I'm gonna pull a card for you. And if you guys want a card and I completely missed you, please say it again. So I know Johan wanted a card, so. Okay, so Johan, you need to get in balance. Oh, shoot. It's the yin yang card. Here, I'm gonna read it to you. Let's see what it says. Okay, so this card represents an energetic life cycle, and its purpose is to help you identify a particular energy moving into or out of your experience. It heralds a yin cycle where most of the action seems to be happening under the surface of things. This is a time of great receptivity, intuition, and gestation. External circumstances may be facing you to go within and examine present activity. It's an especially good time for completion, so wrap things up. The yin cycle often calls you to be positive, yielding, and reflective. So be open to this side of your nature. Being more than acting is the intention here.
It's the intention.
Hi, Steven. How are you? So who else wanted a card?
I'm looking.
Alex.
But I just started watching right now.
Huh?
I just started watching, so I'm not sure. I'll see any new ones.
Okay. You got the Caring Connection card earlier.
Caring Connection card?
Yeah.
Well, what's wrong with that?
I don't know. I was just not feeling it for you.
Sounded like you said Karen, not caring.
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 Caring. C-A-R-I-N-G.
Care. Sometimes.
I don't know. I'm telling you, sometimes you don't feel the cards for certain people.
Well, you're the psychic, so.
Okay, so Alex. Oh, as soon as I
Dog
said
dreams are traps. Did you know that?
Huh?
Did you know that dog dreams are traps?
What do you mean? Oh.
I said that.
C Golden.
It's all a trap.
Or the Russians did it. Okay, Alex, let me see. So you got a man holding a heart, but for you, since you're a guy, that means that you're dealing with family, love, or a male dealing with family, love, or emotions. So maybe you're dealing with some all of the above, not either or, whatever.
It's Fabio, man.
Okay, so the next one was.
They got the Fabio card.
The next one, who was? Are you paying attention to the chat?
Damn it, man.
Um.
You did know this was the 420 TV, right? Some about
Oh yes, Josie.
short-term memory
Issues.
Hold on, let me pop out the chat. That's what's wrong. Is I caught myself.
Appreciation card.
I caught myself looking at the.
You're welcome, Alex.
The video from like,
what?
I guess it's delayed. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Not the Zoom, but the.
Yeah, I was looking at a minute ago, and I saw Fabio probably like 5 minutes late.
All right, Josie, this card for you means that this card shows a woman holding a single rose. She enjoys the scent of beauty and a single blossom. Yet, and behind her are bramble bushes. She could be focusing on this, worried that she might get caught up in the spiky branches of the difficulty. Instead, she's pausing to experience the blessing of this single flower. The sun is breaking through the clouds and shining on her choice.
He's shining on her what?
On her choice and on the tiny buds waiting to be opened up.
The tiny buds? Really?
Shut up, Russ. That's what it says. This card upright is telling you that you have much more to be grateful for, and like the flowering bush behind a woman on the card, there is more to come that you can't yet see. What?
You're attacking me. I can't be serious with that kind of stuff going on. What were you saying? The sun was shining on her what? And then you were talking about the little tiny butts, and now we're talking about the blossoming flowers. Come on. Or the bush. I'm sorry, the blossoming bush. I'll shut up, I promise. I ruined someone's reading. I'm sorry. All right, start over. Let's hear it again.
No.
Ah, shit, man. Sorry. Right. I'll try to keep my adult mind on, from Adult Swim mind, that is.
I think we're done.
Oh, because of the one little outburst? Come on.
No.
To be good now. Beautiful butts. I mean buds. Yeah, right? That's what, you blame the buds, not the butts.
I don't know. Is anybody else wants a card?
Would somebody else like a card? I promise not to ruin this next reading. Oh, yeah. What did I get? Healer of Ages.
Healer of Ages. Here, let me see what. You are a healer, which we know that.
Adult Swim is a trap.
Where is it? I can't even find it now.
You're awesome, and thank you bunches.
Who?
Nolan would like a card. Yes, please.
162. Hold on. All right. So your card was this powerful being, the force of the ancient wisdom and profound healing. The light of the divine consciousness poured from his hands and heart, flowing to you with love and powerful healing intentions.
Ooh, I feel them.
This amazing entity is with you now, bringing resolution of physical, mental, and emotional ills, helping you unblock stuck energy and revitalizing your life force.
Ooh, I like revitalizing my life force. That sounds fun.
All right, so who wanted a card, Judith?
Yes. Violet also wants.
I'm gonna do Judith and Violet. I can't talk. Violet Melon.
Violet Melon, man.
And Gaia, and that's it. Oh, I think Ramen wanted a card too earlier.
Okay.
Ramen, you wanted a card, right? So I'm just gonna do, if Ramen said yes, I'm gonna do Ramen, Gaia, and Violet.
And Violet.
And LJD.
And LGD. LG.
And Aurora Rain. Oh my gosh.
And Aurora Rain.
Are you gonna remember all of those?
Fuck no, I gotta write it down or something, man. That's a lot for a 420 moment, man. That's a lot of names.
All right, so Judith is gonna go first.
Judith. I lost track after like 3 of them, or 4 of them, 5 of them.
Okay, this just jumped out. Oh look, you got the caring connections. But this one.
It's okay for them, but not me.
No, not you. This felt right for Judith.
Hey, show me again. And I didn't get that card.
Yes.
That looks like some people hooking up. Why wouldn't I get that card? That's messed up. You trying to throw salt in my game?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's funny. All right, Judith. It says friendship, partnership, and possible love.
Oh, that sounded great. I got that card too. Just remember that, folks. Technically, I got that card first, so.
Oh, God. This card shows a couple in a tender embrace with the woman holding the bosom of a new love.
Now I know why you skipped it for me, because you knew I would get all weird with it, huh?
The community card, this reveals a caring connection, but usually between 2 people only. This card uprights.
3 if you're on drugs, though.
This card upbrings singles the beginning or deepening of a kindred spirit friendship, or even an apparent new love. It can also signify formal business partnership. When this card appears, be on the lookout for new connections presenting themselves. The relationships you already share may become more intimate, purposeful, or present at this time. Notice the opportunities to forge new and deeper bonds.
Ooh, yeah, I like deeper bonds.
Karmic connections at hand.
Karmic connections and deeper bonds. Those are the best ones.
Oh my God. So I hope that resonates with you.
Getting all mushy now, huh? Oh, Ramen wanted a card too, right? I don't remember, yes. But I think he was.
Ramen has been waiting for a while, so Ramen is next, and then I'm gonna do Violet, Gaia, and there was an Aurora Rain.
In Aurora Rain, that's right. I'm glad when you remember it, I remember it, but then I can't remember what it was.
So for Ramen, let's see.
Giggity.
Ramen, you get the Angel of Balance, and remember that liquid light.
Yeah, I'm gonna drink some of that stuff. Isn't it cool that she's in front of the pyramids there?
Yeah. So I feel like we have a new moon coming, and I feel like that's gonna be significant for you, Ramen.
That always makes me want to go trim my fingernails when I see the new moon.
Oh. And I'm like looking at my nails like, what?
Like a sign. I just see the little fingernail thing and I go clip them.
You're funny.
Werewolf time is coming soon. I better trim it up.
So this loving presence hold a picture of liquid light in front of the pyramids, reminding you that your strong destiny relies on the solid foundation of personal balance and emotional equanimity. Whatever. Although things may have been out of sync in the past, this card is telling you that a great equilibrium is now coming to your life, Ramen. So that's for you.
Balance.
Gaia says, my karmics are coming back, confessing their love and apologizing for wrongdoing. I'm not buying it. Yeah, and if it doesn't feel right, it's probably not right, Gaia. So yeah, follow your intuition. So I'm gonna do you next, Gaia. Gaia, then Aurora Rain, and then Violet, and then that's it. Can you remember those names, Ransom?
Aurora Rain, Violet, and who? Not Violet. Violet. Excuse me.
I'm sorry, LJD wanted a card too.
Yeah, that's right. I do remember that because I messed up trying to say it.
So I'm gonna do Gaia right now, then LJD.
LJD.
Aurora Rain.
Writing it down.
So Gaia, LJD, Aurora Rain, and Violet.
And Violet. Glav.
That's it. No more.
That spells Glav. Glav.
All right, Gaia. Oh, that's cool, Z Golden. He just got off work an hour ago.
That's awesome. Hey, you should do little reports on your news even from work. Like you should just tune in from work. This is Z Golden on the Z Golden Report.
Thank you.
I just got my paycheck.
Gaia, woman holding a coin.
I don't know about that being a woman there.
Let's see.
Steven loves everyone. Everyone loves Steven.
So the card signals a woman of support or assistance regarding issues. She may give you financial advice or connect you with someone who does. This woman may be someone you meet where you make your money, or it may be a woman of wealth and value. Either way, this card is telling you to be on the lookout for helpful assistance, or even the possibility of new love or friendship connected to a woman of wealth or business.
Like a rich sugar mama or something like that?
No.
What's wrong with that?
Oh my God. So that was for you, Gaia. So who's next, Ransom?
LJD. God damn it, I was messing. LJ. No, I said it right for once. LJD.
You did.
Awesome. I'm like not as stoned as I thought. Hold on, I'll fix that.
Good question, Quartz. Don't know. All right, LJD. Let's see what I got for you. I'm always talking in plural.
I don't know, but he loved everybody wherever he went.
No, there's another Steve.
Oh, is that the wrong Steve? Maybe that Steve don't love everybody. I don't know. I got the Steves confused. Okay. My brother's name is Steven. There's a random fact.
Oh, JD, you got the path, the temple path.
Is there 12 pillars? Didn't I ask you that before sometime?
Yeah. I think it says about it here. Let me see.
Yeah, let's hear about it.
Receiving this card represents your own spiritual evolution. The winding path you're leading on to a blessed temple in a lovely garden, symbolizing the spiritual destiny your soul has made in mind for this lifetime. This card upright is here to tell you that you are going through now, what you're going through now is part of your soul process. You are on a karmic path and heading in the right direction. And the choices you make now are important for your personal growth and life lessons. The lights around the temple represents the spirit world.
Earthquake.
Your family members and friends.
Enlightenment.
Your family members and friends, angels and guides, all the loving spirit helpers who long to assist you. Call upon them to be open to the wisdom and inspiration. This is a wonderful life expanding time, so keep your mind in your personal priorities as well as your spiritual connection. Following your higher intentions will help you move your life forward in dramatic ways, and connecting with spirits and your higher self will have wonderful influences on that you experience.
I just heard spiritual enlightenment on that one.
So that's the card you got, LJD. So who's next?
Aurora Rain. See, I'm good. I just write down one letter. I'll remember everybody.
Contracts.
Ooh. Contracts. That looks like
I got this card on the general card reading I did the other day, but the one I got was in reverse. So you're welcome, LJD. Here, I'll read it, but pretty much maybe you're making some business partnerships or
getting married.
Legal commitment.
Justice of the peace. It's in your future.
I will, Aurora Rain. Wait. Who did I set this card for? Was? Yes, for Aurora Rain.
Aurora Rain, that's right.
Okay, so I won't read because she wants me to do it intuitively. So yeah, let's see.
Yeah, I just saw a contract, so you're gonna be,
it's more of a legal thing for you, something legal.
Justice of the peace. How romantic. No, just joking. It could be. Maybe you get a new job. You have to do a contract.
That's right. I don't know if you might be taking a new job. I don't know. I feel like it's more of a legal in the sense of.
Were you bad?
Huh? In a good way. In a good way.
Oh, you mean like not tickets or nothing where you have to go down there and no. Not those legal problems, like just.
Oh, there's Steven.
Legal arrangement there.
They're both Steven. Never mind.
I was just thinking adoption too, man. Like there's all kinds of things that a legal thing could be.
Or maybe it can be also a contract. Maybe or like you were saying, maybe, I don't know if you've been looking for a new job or you're going to get offered a new job.
It's weird though that the symbology on that is two different forms of justice is blind, right? Liberty's blind, and then you have scales of justice right there too.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you'll have some kind of thing that's kind of owed to you in life, like maybe some credit or something. Something will go your way.
Yeah. All right.
And what was you get it? Justice. It could come in any form.
Yeah, but I think it's definitely gonna be in your favor. I don't think it's one of the thing that you have to worry about. I think it will definitely go in your favor. Whatever the situation or whatever it is, it will go in your favor. Who's next?
That would be Violet.
Violet, I forgot Violet something.
Something. I didn't write the last name down. I just wrote the first one with a letter.
Now I can't find it. It's too.
I'm being silly.
Let me know if you're here still, Violet. And if you are here, I will do your reading. And was that it?
Yes, that was the last one that you said you wanted to do, unless you're feeling energetic.
I don't think I'm waiting to see if she's here. Thank you, Josie.
Well, she can
watch. How can we do the Super Bowl?
Violet Melon.
Violet Melon, yes. All right, she's here. So let's do this.
Oh, she said something. Yeah. I don't know who was first. I was looking back in the history.
Okay, Violet.
We're gonna have like a psychic episode with our cards again, like one night, or like a mystery object in a box. That stuff was pretty fun.
Yeah, I was debating to see if we wanted to have a show like presenting some information or to have a psychic night R&R show, because we haven't done that in a long time.
No. And it's fun.
So maybe next week we can do that. Instead of bringing some information, we can have a psychic night next week on the R&R show where we're going to do ESP cards. Ransom, you need to find yours.
Yes.
Didn't your cat bring you some of those?
Right, my cat found them for me. She started bringing me cards, and I was like, oh, man, where'd you get them? And I had to track back the little trail of cards because she wanted me to throw them to fetch.
So, yeah, we're going to do ESP cards. We can... I don't know. I'm sure we'll find something fun to do. And also,
what would be cool is if we picked a story, kind of mix the 420 news with the psychic stuff. I'll pick one random story and then let people talk about the story before I tell them what it is.
I see.
You know what I mean? Kind of like a remote viewing thing of, do you feel like you're going to know what the program's about to send you?
There you go. And we can do, you haven't done your tarot cards in a while, so, and I know people like you do your readings.
Yes.
So might as well go all the way in a psychic night, right?
I'm not a psychic. I do seem to have some weird dreams that have some.
Ransom is a psychic in denial. We all know that, so whatever. Anyways, Violet Melon, you got the thinking man. He's holding some crystals.
That's right. You can have readings from the cussing monk. Sorry.
Getting some knowledge from the crystals.
Ooh. Everybody I know has crystals.
I wonder if you're into crystals, but definitely check them out.
Everybody I know has them. I bet she does. At least one.
So this card can present a potential presence of a teacher in your life now, or arriving very soon, or a mentor. The person may be there to educate you in the finer details of your chosen direction, or maybe there to assist you in some specific spiritual, mental, or emotional pursuits. This card is telling you to pay attention, for this could lead to great strides in personal and professional growth. This man also, lots of love. This may also be a love interest coming your way, or perhaps a new male friend. But be on the lookout for this guide in the physical world, and be open for this information. Learn what you can. A new discipline, technique, a course, or a study, or healing practices could change your life forever. Oh, you have many crystals? But yeah, I think that the common theme on these card readings, was love. And it's so cliche, I know, and February, I know is pretty much a holiday to sell, cards, Valentine cards, and the propaganda and all of that. I know, but
the evil chocolate industrial complex wants you to buy all of that stuff.
But like I said, I know it sounds cliche and everything, but I mean, the truth, it is what it is. Most of the cards were aimed about love. Yeah. So a lot of you guys will be getting love in your life.
Love.
So with that.
Except for me, I got my card burned at the beginning of it for some reason. Nah, I'm just joking.
On that note, thank you guys for watching. Hi, Dark Truth.
Yeah, and people were saying maybe we should also try some kind of telepathy game.
Yeah.
Like a mind reading thing. We'd have to have a third party, though, so to make sure that we didn't all collude. That there wasn't Russia colluding beforehand where we told each other.
Maybe we can just write it down, like I will write a number down or a picture or something right there live.
Yeah. Right.
And then that's, I'll send that message to telepathically.
Yeah, well, that's how we'll do it. We'll send the crowd the thing because, if me or you did it, we could have talked about it some other time. But like a triangle, bam, 100% accuracy. Even though we practiced beforehand. No,
right. So yeah, we'll have a psychic night next week on the R&R Show. So if you guys want to participate in fun games and test your abilities, you should definitely check us out. I hope that the information we presented with the fifth sun and all the similarities around the different cultures, ancient cultures, sacred cultures around the world.
Yeah.
So do you have anything else to say, Ransom?
Not off the top of my head, but I had fun on the R&R Show.
Yes.
We need to make it more about fun. I guess people been whining I'm a little too real over on my channel.
It's okay, because you come to my channel and be fun.
All right.
But also, I wanted, if we can figure it out tomorrow, Ransom and I will come back live, because I really, really, really feel strongly guided to do a show. If we can do it live, that'll be great, about the halftime show of the
that'd be badass.
Of the Super Bowl, because I've been getting a lot into the MK Ultra and the Illuminati.
What if they just burn everybody this year?
Oh my God. And I know that
they realize the public's been paying attention now, and that we're making comments about their Illuminati fucking spectacles, right? And then they just have a nice, wholesome family halftime show out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like just a band playing and some vets, and then it's like, you know, like a long time ago or something. They'll burn everybody, and everybody will be like, what? There's no new world order? And then the year after that, they'll get back to business.
Anyway, so if we can figure it out how to go live without getting copyright strike for showing that live.
I can warp it. I'll warp it so that it's not recognized, and we'll play it live. Well, maybe with like a second delay or something.
Yeah, because I would love to point out certain things that I will see. But anyway,
what time is the halftime show? Do you know? Like, so we can all think about it ahead of time and tune in at the proper bat channel at the proper bat time.
I have no clue. I have no clue.
All right, to be announced.